Yeah, I hope not. It's good. Yeah.
All right, so, okay.
Kids not falling.
Really?
Really? It's gonna go like this.
Yeah.
All righty. Okay, well, looks like we're ready to go. Hey, Chief. All right, well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the June 17th meeting of the Hyde Park Town Board. Please join me while I pledge allegiance to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'm going to ask for a couple things. One is to accept the minutes of the June 3rd meeting. May I have a motion to do so?
Motion.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
And also ask the board if we can move the agenda item of the executive session to the end of the meeting.
I make a motion to move the executive session.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, great. Okay, so on tonight's meeting, we have public comment on the resolutions as well as any matter of town business. Please do keep your comments to 3 minutes. State your name, your address, and again, it's a public comment time. It doesn't mean that we enter into a dialogue. What I'd like to do is receive people's comments on any agenda item or any matter of town business, and then what we typically do is go back and do a little research and then give an update at a later time. So with that, would anyone like to come on up to the podium and make a public comment? Okay, well, it's nice to have a big crowd here tonight, and especially if they don't want to give any public comment. But in any case, so we have two really nice items on, one very nice item on our workshop agenda, and that's the presentation of the development plan for Camp Victory Lake. And so we'll move it around. We'll go ahead and do that right now. So I know we have a number of people from Victory Lake here. So please come on up and give us a whirl on what your plans are.
There's a microphone on the table that
Yeah,
you can
right
pick
there,
up and,
yeah.
and speak into that.
Hi, and if you could just introduce yourself and welcome.
Thank you. My name is Deanna Lambert, and I'm the chairperson for the Camp Development Committee. And with me are several members from Camp Victory Lake. Camp Victory Lake is a local property up on Carmelba Road, and we provide services to the community in terms of summer camp. We have a summer sleepaway camp, and we have a number of things going on there. With me this evening, we have 10 minutes, and we'll try to be shorter than that. And thank you for adding us to the agenda. We have the president of our conference, Dr. Daniel Honore. He's with us, and Peter's going to join us. He's from the engineering team that's working on our project, and we have Robert Wright, one of our local members of the community that's also on the team working with us, and Dr. Hamilton. So Dr. Honore, Dr. Honore is just going to give you a little bit of overview about Camp Victory Lake, what we do on our organization, so you have a better understanding. And then, of course, I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might want to ask about what we're doing, and especially what we're doing for the community.
Great. Thank you for coming in and for sharing your information on your project. It's been a fixture of Hyde Park for so many years, Camp Victory Lake.
Good evening. I am the president of the Northeastern Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, which is the owner of Camp Victory Lake. The camp was purchased about 50 years ago and provides a spiritual retreat as well as a recreational retreat here in the community and to our constituency, who are scattered in about 180 congregations in the northeastern part of the United States. For years, we have dreamed of upgrading our facilities and making them better and more accessible to everyone for the camping activities. And we do look forward to working with you in this town to offer the best quality product that we can as far as a camp for young people and for the community and for other activities. So thank you very much tonight for entertaining us And we really are excited about the potential development or redevelopment of this site. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
One of the first things that we sought to do when we thought about developing the camp was to look at just the way it looked in the community. Like, there was no fence. We know people complain about the cars being outside and just how the place looked. So the first thing we did was we contacted Adam Fence and we're like, hey, we got a fence put up, and we started thinking about what can we do with this property to enhance its value as well as to stand out in the community. And so this evening we have a map here of our proposed development. We're not rich. We can't do it all in once. It may be done in 20 years or 40 years, but we wanted to be working off something, to have a framework, not just putting up a building this year and asking for permission, but to have an overall plan of what we want to do with the property and how we could best service the people that entrust their time with us. So Peter's going to talk a little bit about our development plans.
So can I just clarify, you are in front of the planning board right now, is that correct? Yes, okay. That's what I thought, and so you've submitted your proposal, and,
Right.
okay, great, thank
But we
you.
wanted to hear from you guys.
Okay,
We
well,
wanted to be a part of the process.
oh, that's great, well, thank you.
So my name's Peter Sander. I'm with the Renia Engineering, who is representing the applicant. So as part of our initial phase 1 for the proposed project, we had this master plan developed, which outlined the general development that we will be doing for the camp. If you take a look at the exhibits I provided to you, it's a colorful one. So phase 1 of the proposed master plan is the the religious sanctuary that we will be designing plans for in the southeastern corner. It's on the intersection between Crum Elbow and South Quaker. Additionally, part of the master plan calls for a general redevelopment of the existing structures that are currently at the
If
camp.
you can put the mic up because it's televised.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I didn't hear anything, so
That's
my
okay.
bad. So generally a redevelopment of the existing camp facilities. So as you can see, in addition to the religious sanctuary, we have several other features proposed, including a general downtown portion of the camp will be redeveloped. We have a BMX course for bike BMXing, high ropes, low ropes course, several additional facilities, including expanding dining hall and mini golf course. So generally, this is just to map out the overall redevelopment of the camp. So phase 1 is our initial phase, which should be occurring as we receive approvals from the planning board. But the subsequent phases will be down the road and will be based off of whatever the camp feels is necessary at the time. So to get into a little of phase 1 for the proposed project, we have our site plan for the overall religious sanctuary. So this structure is proposed to be about 61,000 square feet, and it will have a mix of offices, classrooms, and a general like assembly hall where they'll have a stage and be able to do productions and performances like that. Also included in part of this is the parking areas in order to more formalize the parking within the campsite. So we have several parking areas that are included in part of this development. Our initial designs had the parking areas towards the front of the road, but in order to better comply with the zoning and have a general more non-parking or not have the parking along the roads, we moved them back and have added vegetation, vegetative buffers, and landscaping. So this is our phase 1 for the proposed project, which we're pretty excited about. Moving forward, we're going to be submitting a second plan set to the planning board, and we'll look forward to hearing public comment once that the public hearing is open for that. So yeah, and if you have any questions, we'd like to answer them. Or
So you said it's on the southeast corner of
Yes.
the property? What's there right now? I'm just
right now is just there's some old foundations and an old parking lot. So
Okay.
generally, what we'll be doing is regrading the site, planting landscaping, and overall flattening it out so the building can fit there and fits well into the actual landscape. So.
That's, yeah, good. And is it going to be a one-story building or a two-story? Or?
So where we're working at now is depending on the grading, but our current grading has it so that you walk into these nice classroom, almost atrium-like structure, and then you walk forwards, and then you have some stadium-style seating into the ground. So it's more of an open-air theater type structure. So it'll have the seats looking down on the stage and along the inside. So yeah, it will be like that.
So it will be primarily used just in the summertime then?
Yeah,
it's
primarily
this-
just used for the camp events that they do. More formalized structure, allows better production value, so.
So actually, you don't have any uses there at all in the wintertime then, at this point in time, or?
At this point in time, the building that we have that serve us, it's not heated. So, but in the summertime, we do open it up for, the kids are able to play in there, they're able to do different activities in there.
Do you guys have a pool or?
Yes, we do
Oh,
have a
that's
pool.
nice,
We do
yeah.
have a pool.
So-
And we have a basketball court also that we open up to the community, that they know when the gates open, they can
Yeah.
come in and play. And so we do open, we were hoping to open up the facility as much as possible to the people. I wanted Brother Wright to come up and talk just about how we have used the youth from the community of Hyde Park and how they have benefited from the camp and how we could forge other partnerships in the same way.
That's great, thank you.
Thank you. I'm actually from the community, and we run a youth build program in the city of Poughkeepsie. And over the years, our young people have been able to come out to help with the development of the camp, to assist with cleanup. They've been able to camp out there because in the past they've never done that.
Mhm.
So the camp has offered an opportunity for community young people to get involved, and we're looking to make sure that that happens on a regular basis.
Well, that's-
I just want to say, as a resident, I live off of Crum Elbow Road, and you guys are just wonderful neighbors. It's like all of a sudden I drive by and you'll see hundreds of cars. It's like, wow, your footprint is so light. I mean, it's amazing what you guys do there. And as a resident, I always enjoy seeing the camp being filled and being utilized. And you guys have always been great neighbors. So as a resident, I want to thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. You at one time were affiliated with the nursing home, but no longer, right?
Right,
Yeah,
no longer.
yeah.
We're hoping that someday we can get it back, but, right, Dr. Honore?
Well, I actually worked there when I was 16, and I,
Oh,
I
really?
really liked it.
Well,
Yeah,
you must
I
have
loved it.
you must have known his wife. His
Yeah,
wife
so-
worked,
well, I
Lydia
think, I
Wright.
don't know if you've
Yeah,
been there that
yeah,
long.
she
That
worked
was
there
a
for
long
years.
time ago.
Well, she's been there for years.
Yeah, yeah, but it
More than
was,
32, and by the way, I'm known as Lydia Wright's husband, so she's well known in the
okay.
community. Yes.
Well, it looks like a great plan.
yeah,
Thank you
so,
for sharing.
well, we appreciate you coming into the town board. You know, we don't have any regulatory aspect or influence on your project, but we certainly are very happy to be able to observe and support you, and we appreciate the time you took to come in.
Thank you so much for having
And
us.
Great.
do you know when the public hearing will be open?
Well-
Are you at that point yet?
We're at that, we don't know yet when the
Okay.
public hearing will be open. We're just waiting to do a traffic study.
Okay.
And that should be coming up in another weekend or so.
Great.
So, but for sure, I'll hear your voices when it's time for the public hearing. So I'm happy that you're happy with us as good neighbors. And if there's anything we can do, we're always happy to do that.
Right.
When the trees are down, we try to give away the firewood, whatever you need. You
Great.
can just reach out to the camp and we'll try to help you out.
Okay,
Well,
well,
thank you
thanks
so
again.
much.
Thank you so
Wishing
much
the
for
very
having
best
us.
of success with your project.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so moving on to the next item on our workshop. Warren, do you kind of want to review that a little bit? We have representatives of the Anderson School attending. Yes. Oh, great, thanks. Yeah. Would you like to sit here? That might make it easier for you. Yeah, great. So as we've talked about in the past few months, we realized that our zoning on the telecommunications towers needs updating. So we did pass a moratorium for 6 months, but in the interim, the Anderson School had reached out and asked if we could consider waiving that requirement for you. So we're happy to entertain that. So do you two lawyers want to talk?
We've actually talked.
Sure. My name is Scott Olson, and I'm an attorney with the firm of Young Summer out of Albany. Even though we're out of Albany, I spend most of my time down in Orange County and Dutchess County for whatever reason. Thank you for getting this onto the agenda so quickly. I appreciate it. We are requesting a waiver from the moratorium. Really, for the most simplest of reasons is that, as you may well be aware, the FCC has intervened in the wireless industry pretty significantly. They have done several orders, including created time frames that they call the shot clock when things have to be done by. And my biggest argument here is that you have a 6-month moratorium. It doesn't sound like the things that you're looking to do are really controversial. It's not a new wireless law. It sounds like it's more administrative, getting things in order. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll change. So we thought to make the request for a variance because we filed an application with the planning board. And maybe it's the wrong board. I think the regulations say ZBA, but then the special use permit. And
Well,
I think
that's one of the things that we are
point.
trying to,
Exactly.
the housekeeping, yeah.
So we're trying to get, we have an application for the Anderson School.
Yes.
And it's a 62-foot wooden utility pole. It's called what we call a small cell.
Mm-hmm.
Not a very big footprint. We think it's a great location because you don't have a lot of residents nearby that would object to that sort of thing.
Where is that where is it located? Is it,
It's- Do you know
Can
where
you s-
the AT&T utility
no,
tower?
like, I guess what I'm really asking is, can you see it from the river or no?
I don't think you will be able to, but we'll be able to kind of,
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty well contained.
Mm-hmm.
So we went through the moratorium, and I know that it was recorded and the state recently filed. So we're hoping that we could work with the town to have our application reviewed, because this is something that we were working on before, and I know the town didn't know that, and we're trying to get it built this year. And I think if the moratorium were to go out 6 months, then technically you have the shot clock, and that creates a problem. But we just hope that we could work with the town. We think it's a project that, while it may not be like the other project that you described, it's still needed, and it's.
Well, the residents appreciate any improvement in their cell service, that's for sure.
I know.
That's something that we have all come to rely on, so, and I don't know if that's kind of a dead spot up in that area.
is.
I think it is, actually.
It is.
So,
It's not a huge dead spot, so that's why we are deploying small cells throughout the communities now, because the network is fairly well developed.
Yeah.
9G's the worst.
What's that?
Yeah.
9G's terrible.
I just
Yeah.
came down it, and I just.
well, I
yeah.
think you guys were working on adding one to our pole at the highway garage. At one point, there was discussion. So,
It doesn't ring a bell with
it
me,
doesn't-
but that
okay.
doesn't mean
Okay.
anything.
Oh.
We had another one in town, it's kind of stalled right now.
Mhm. Yes.
And
Well-
we met with the planning board, but we're working on a few title issues,
Mm-hmm.
so we'll see where that goes.
Okay, so it's 62 feet, is that what you said?
It's
Yeah.
62-foot pole, correct, it'd be a wooden utility pole, it literally is a wooden utility pole,
Mhm.
yeah.
Where are you currently at with the planning board?
So what we're not anywhere, because we submitted the application, and then Chairman Dupree, said, well, we just had this moratorium that was adopted, and so he said, the town board has to get involved to decide how to proceed. That's why we submitted our letter last week.
Mhm. Warren, did you want to
Yeah,
give some input?
have you submitted anything in writing to the town yet?
Yes,
Okay. In terms of the waiver for the moratorium?
we submitted this, and I thought a copy was supposed to have been sent to you via email,
Oh, okay.
but it's a lengthy document.
Okay, okay, I don't know, could
Yes.
you resend that, or do you have another copy?
You can have this
Oh,
if you'd like.
okay, yeah, oh, well.
Here, you can have
It's
that
double-
one.
Oh, great.
It's fine, we have
Okay,
it.
I've got it, I've got it.
That's all
To
his.
save me the trouble of printing this out tomorrow.
Because it would have been much thicker.
Yeah,
So I think,
It's just because of the FCC orders that are so lengthy.
yeah, I mean, I think I'll look through this based on the height of the facility and the location. I don't see how you wouldn't meet the threshold requirements for a waiver from the moratorium. So we can schedule it for a public hearing at our next town board meeting and move from there.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Okay.
okay. So we'll schedule for the public hearing for the next town board
Yes.
meeting?
Mhm.
What's the date of that?
We'll have
Tim?
to add this as a resolution at the days
Yeah,
tonight.
yep. So I think it's July 15th. Okay, for July
July
15th.
15th.
Okay.
Is that okay? And unfortunately, I have chewed into the law in a little bit more detail. I wasn't the attorney when the law was last amended. It requires a little bit more than tweaking, I'm finding.
Okay.
So it may take a while for the law, so.
Okay.
It's, I have no problem with the town board if it's of a mind, and we don't get any negative comments from the public that are substantive, granting the moratorium, and then you'd be free to move forward with the planning board. The statute says the zoning board, but I think the planning board will assume leadership role in
I think,
reviewing
okay.
until we amend the law, so.
And that's fine. And that's with the other project, when I met at the pre-app meeting, the chairman said, we acknowledge the problem, and he said, yeah, but it's the plan, you really want to be for the planning board, and I understand. So that's not a problem.
Okay,
So this is a hardship for the company, is that what you're applying under the moratorium?
Yeah, I think it's section 5, the hardship, exactly. The hardship is that if you spend 6 months doing the law, you're gonna, redoing the law, updating it, then we're gonna run up against it's actually a 5-month shot clock. So when we submit an application, it's supposed to be dealt with in 5 months. And the interesting thing is that in 2014, the FCC came out and said, well, we're gonna clarify the shot clock, and a moratorium does not stop the shot clock. That's our hardship case, is that we have federal law that intervenes. So, and let's say things go the way, there's not a public outcry, and we proceed with this and the shot clock becomes an issue, we always work with towns that as long as things are being reviewed, we extend them. We don't, it's not a hard, hey, it absolutely has to be done right now. We understand that things take time.
okay.
I don't
All right.
issue.
Nope, you guys good with
Yeah, I'm good
adding
with
that
that.
to the agenda then?
Sure.
I'm good
May I
with
have
that.
a motion to add to the agenda to set a public hearing on a waiver from the moratorium on the cell tower law for the application for Verizon at the Anderson Center for Autism.
I make that motion.
In a second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
And I believe we also need to add 14 as well at the dais.
What was,
That's to add the police officer.
oh, okay.
We need to
That
add
wasn't
Resolution
added.
617-14
Oh, okay, all right.
for
Sorry
Michael
about that.
Stallone.
Oh, okay, so may I have a motion to add resolution number 14, appointing Michael Stallone?
I make that motion.
In a second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you. So this is now in your hands. I'm going to relay that to my secretary, what the exact status of this.
Of this? Oh, really? Where should I hide?
All right, good. Okay, so moving on then to our resolutions. Actually, why don't we also have a motion to move that number
14.
14 to number 1?
I would like, perfect.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we get our police officers out of here tonight. So, Neil, do you
Yep.
want to go ahead?
Resolution 617-14 of 2019. Resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to appoint Michael Stallone as full-time police officer for the Town of Hyde Park Police Department.
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so welcome, Michael, and we'd like to go ahead and swear you in right now. So that you can't get away? No. Donna, you have your, okay,
Kenny,
good.
you taking pictures?
No, you want to take some?
Yep. Okay, so,
Hey, Rob.
Michael, do you have any friends or family that you want up here?
They're all here, aren't they?
Two's mine.
You can come right on over if you'd like. It's a big day for you.
Who's the officer coming in?
Okay.
How's that feel?
Very good.
I, Michael Stallone, do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and faithfully discharge the duties
and faithfully discharge the duties
of full-time police officer
of a full-time police officer
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
So sworn.
All
Congratulations.
right.
Congratulations and well done.
Yeah, yeah.
Supervisor, we got a good picture.
I guess they look tougher when they're in the uniform.
Great.
Oh, good. Very good.
Congratulations, Officer Stallone.
Yeah. Good luck. Stay safe out there. Yeah, he can shake the counselor's hand too. Congratulations. Welcome aboard.
Okay, great. Well, a lot of nice things going on.
Oh my
Appreciate
God.
that.
Love that.
Yeah. All righty. So,
Dave.
now I guess it's.
Dave, you're on
you're
number
up.
one.
Okay, we'll open with number,
You're on number one.
yeah, I know, I'm on the pad, so, okay, I got it. Resolution 617-1 of 2019, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Building Inspector, Donald Westermeyer, to carry over accrued vacation time.
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 617-2 of 2019, resolution authorizing the release of the balance of escrow for the attorney to the Town of Hyde Park for the Wright Homes LLC subdivision project.
Second?
I'm sorry, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolution 617-3 of 2019, resolution accepting donations from the Hyde Park Lions Club and Rhinebeck Bank to be utilized for the Town of Hyde Park Recreation 2019 Music in the Park Series.
Second.
And all in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Resolution 617-4 of 2019. Take a deep breath here.
It's a big one.
Resolution authorizing entrance onto the properties located at 42 Putnam Road, Hyde Park, 1 Gary Drive, Hyde Park, 3665 Albany Post Road, Poughkeepsie, 25 Bircher Avenue, Poughkeepsie, 579 Creek Road, Poughkeepsie, 7 Gloria Drive, Statsburg, to bring these properties into compliance with the standards of Chapter 85-5B of the Town Code and to assess the cost of such action against the property as lien and charge on the same.
And I second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
And just to inform the public a bit on this, so when we receive complaints regarding a failure of a individual property owner to maintain their lawn, we are deputy building inspector goes out and does an inspection and then provides notice to that property owner. He emails, or he sends them a certified letter letting them know they have 30 days to comply with the requirement to mow their properties. And if they fail to do so, then we at the town board go ahead and pass a resolution allowing these properties to be mowed. And thankfully, with the cooperation of our highway department, we're able to get it done. But just so the public is clear, it's definitely not a lawn service. It's going to cost them substantially more because we have a long process involved in getting this to this point. So they're charged for that. They're also charged for the highway department employees' time and benefits. So it can be a hefty charge. And just to clarify further, we have to do it every single time. So some people make the assumption that if we've done it once, that means we can continue to go in, but it's not the case. So if residents would like to make a complaint regarding the failure to mow a lawn, they can do so, and they would have to do it each time, and it would trigger this entire lengthy process. So that's where we are, and we passed this law last year in order to make it a more efficient process to get it done, and it's really worked out quite well. But we really strongly encourage everyone to mow their own lawns so they can avoid the additional fees, as well as keep their neighborhood attractive.
Right. And I know as a neighbor that has to live next to somebody that's not taking care of their property, it is very frustrating, and we get that. I think each one of us have had that around us. But property owners do have tremendous rights, and everybody wants smaller government, not bigger government, until there's things like this, and then they want the government to step in, which I'm more than happy to, and I'm glad to see that we have 5 on this list tonight.
Yeah.
And as a homeowner, it's exasperating that you have to do it. Sure.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm with you. Listen, I am in the same camp with you, and it's exasperating that you have to come back like every month until, right. So I think, hopefully now you'll see that this town board is a lot, is very proactive.
But again,
but
we'll need, if it needs to be mowed again, and
that
we have
process
to
has
go
to
through the
happen
whole
again.
process.
She's gonna try to wear us down on us.
Yeah.
She's been doing it for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just know that, unfortunately, the laws that we have to go by, we have to do this every time.
But we're happy to get it done.
Probably.
Well,
Yeah, well, hopefully we can get,
Okay,
but yeah.
okay, all right.
The other thing is, on the side of the road, because she actually owns both sides, that little strip coming down from 9G to Creek Road, she actually owns a little bit on the other side. Now, that side of the road is getting very hard to see out, so when you come down a little side street, you make a left out to Creek Road from 9G to back, there's a whole bunch of brush right there. Last year, my wife almost had a mishap, and two guys were speeding down the road, and she didn't have time, and it was you could skip on everything, it was just a disaster. That's a very big problem, and that's speeding.
Yeah, well, I'll talk to the police about making sure about the speeding and things, and, yeah.
All right, and then just to go ahead then and,
We
did we
voted on
vote
that,
on
right?
that? We did,
Yes.
okay. So,
Resolution 617-5 of 2019, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Supervisor to execute an agreement between Bright Days Day Camp and the Town of Hyde Park for the use of the Hyde Park Recreation Pool located at Hackett Hill Park.
Second.
and all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 617-6 of 2019, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Supervisor to enter into a lease agreement with the Reformed Dutch Church of Hyde Park for the Town of Hyde Park Recreation Senior Center for 2019-2020.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So, based on feedback from our seniors, they had asked for a different location based on some of the size of the room and various other limitations. So, Fortunately, Teresa Gasparini, our rec leader, was able to go out and find a different location for the senior center, and that will be at the Dutch Reformed Church, and that will begin in July. So we'll put something out through
July
the
1st,
website.
right?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it'll
it's
be
a great
July.
room over there.
Yeah, July 1st, that will be the new location.
Great.
Great.
Did
And
we
it
vote on
helps the
that?
church.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yep. Yes.
Resolution 617-7 of 2019, resolution authorizing the Hyde Park Town Supervisor to execute a renewal of the intermunicipal agreement with the Hyde Park Central School District and the Town of Hyde Park for the presence of police officers at the Hyde Park school events for the 2019/2020 school year.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 617-8 of 2019. Resolution authorizing the Hyde Park Town Supervisor to execute a renewal of the intermunicipal agreement with the Hyde Park Central School District to cooperatively fund a school resource officer program for the 2019-2020 school year.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 617-9 of 2019, resolution authorizing the Hyde Park Town Supervisor to execute the town board's consent to having the Hyde Park Planning Board act as a lead agency for the secret review of the Taconic Realty, Violet Avenue, and Hudson Valley Hospice Project.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 617-10 of 2019, resolution authorizing the Hyde Park Town Board to appoint Nicole Nokis as the temporary recreation supervisor for the Town of Hyde Park Recreation Department.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 617-11 of 2018, resolution authorizing the Hyde Park Town Board to create the position of Deputy Town Controller for the Town of Hyde Park.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 617-12 of 2019. Resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to approve the Hyde Park Highway Department's emergency purchase of a cat roller for roadwork repair within the Town of Hyde Park.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye. Hey, Howie, you can get your roller now.
Get rolling.
Yeah, you can get rolling now, baby. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, the last one, Resolution 617-13 of 2019, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Supervisor to execute an agreement with Palos City for payroll services for the Town of Hyde Park.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
And we have that last one that we added up today is
yes.
617-15 for the cell tower.
For the cell tower. So, Warren, do you want to kind of dictate
Yeah,
that?
that's just a, I'm not going to dictate the resolution, but it'll be the caption will be a resolution accepting the application of Orange County Poughkeepsie Limited Partnership, DBA Verizon Wireless, for a waiver of the moratorium on cell towers enacted pursuant to local law number 3 of 2019, and scheduling a public hearing on the waiver as required by the moratorium law for July 15th
Yes.
at 7:05 p.m.
Yes.
We have to add that. I make a motion, we accept what Warren just read.
A second, well, because we had already added it, so.
Oh, was he added? Okay.
Yep,
I
so,
didn't remember voting on
yeah,
it.
you have a second, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So,
Good night, thank you.
good night, thank
Night.
Thank you.
So now may I have a motion to enter executive session to discuss a personnel issue?
I make a motion.
Second?
And all in favor?
Aye. Howie, thank you.
Two folks.
Sure.
Hanging around now.
I'll see you tomorrow
See
morning
you
at 10.
tomorrow at 10. Oh, actually, if they're in a residential
Gotcha.
area.
So they just.
Okay, so may I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
And
Second.
Second and,
What, do we have to go backwards?
wait, actually, yes, a motion to return from executive session,
Motion.
Second?
and all in favor?
Aye.
And now a motion to
No,
adjourn.
nothing, we did
Yes.
person.
Nothing.
Oh, right, sorry. Town Hall is going to be closed tomorrow for Records Management Day, so we did put that out Neil, I don't know if you sent that out. Did you send it out in an email?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, I put it as,
It's on the website. but
Website front and back door.
Maybe we could just shoot an email
Okay.
tonight, yeah. Yes, it's an annual event where we put away all the records from the year past. So, so may I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Now we're official, Donna?
Now we're official.
All right.
You look so official.